could identify ourselves before we
Perfect timing. That's you.
You. This is Karsten. I'd like to call the meeting to order. The time being 5:01. Are you doing roll?
Yeah,
Jeremy?
All right. I'm Jeremy. I'll do the roll call. So, Mr. Dayton Flake. Present. Mr. Karsten Flake.
I'm here.
Mr. Larson. Here. Mr. Miller, myself, I'm here. And Ms. Roberson. Present. All right.
Mrs. Robertson's here.
Sorry, Mrs. Robertson. Sorry. And our principals are here as well. All right, cool. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it. Call for the vote. Robertson.
Agree.
Dayton.
Yes.
Eldon. Jeremy.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Move to the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a volunteer.
I can do it.
To the flag,
I pledge allegiance to the flag
and to the
United States of
America,
America, and
one
to the
nation,
republic
under
which
God,
stands
indivisible,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move on to the invocation. The volunteer. Our dear Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee this evening, help us to have Thy Spirit help us in the things that we do, the decisions that we'll do what's best for the community, the school, and those that are all involved. We say these things in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Then we have reports and information.
Yes, thank you, Blake. That was time for modifications to here. Learning plans and to try and finish out the school. Also, staff working situation with ways that can work remotely from our work. Some staff can't work from home then lack of technology or because here. Those employees with 8 hours of training and professional development part of their that they can that might last resolution authorizing us to employee my super law for the
But all of that is within their actual salaries, their primary salary, nothing extra.
Right. Now there are extra duties. We, the principals and I are both ready to take any questions you guys have. So I do need to have some extra duty assignments. Anyone with the extra duty contract, we are paying them for that position, that contract. Say it's a coach, for example, they are being reassigned to pick up some things for the remainder of the season in lieu of the time that they would have spent with students. For example, maybe taking a coach's class or CPR class, maybe conducting inventory on equipment, cleaning an equipment area, and the athletic director, Mr. Miller, was responsible for that, so he could give you details, but those are the things that we lined up.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Fields or the principals about this?
We have food service going on too, so if you think of questions, don't hesitate to ask them. I should defer them to the short report on how they're doing without me. Okay.
Mr. Miller?
If you guys would like to.
What specifically are you wanting to know? How about we start off with that?
I don't have any specific questions, just an overall of where people might be reassigned or whatever they're
For
doing.
sure.
Instruction.
Yeah. So teachers obviously are continuing with the online learning, which for the most part has gone really well. I've had three complaints about doing it online, but overall everything has gone really well when you consider we have 260 students. So we are our aides, our special ed aides, are contacting the students in the special education program, and they're supposed to contact, each aide is assigned a certain group of kids, and then they're supposed to contact and work with them each week and making sure that they keep their assignments up. I've worked with Mr. Fisher to start assigning our coaches trainings and other things to do to make up for the lost time that they've spent in their position. I have not followed up with him to see what exactly he decided to do on that. So,
And maybe this is for other people too, if they want to just be done and not get the rest of the pay, is that an option that we have or they have, or?
I guess that would
or do we
always
even
be an
have anybody?
option. That would always be an option, I think, if somebody wanted to resign their
But
position. But
if I
don't
can
foresee that
interject,
happening.
one of the requirements of the law that requires that we continue to pay people is that they have to accept the assignment that we give them. Now, we can modify that, and so that they're, in case they have concerns about being around other people. But if they refuse, then we don't have to pay them.
But they don't have to resign and not come back next year, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Because
But they
some people
can't
might
just-
not want to
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't they just,
opt to not get
Yeah,
paid.
there are a couple, we won't go into detail here, but here's the general statement about that. They could take paid leave or unpaid leave if they don't want to take a reassignment and during this shutdown.
Okay.
That kind of simplifies it.
I just hate people that don't want to be anywhere around it have to do it if they don't want to. They have that option.
okay, so you're saying they
Well-
can take paid leave
If they have it,
for the extra?
no.
For the coaching and stuff?
No.
Okay, that, yeah.
Are you referring to the aides that working with the students?
I'm referring to
Just any position?
an aide, a coach that says, I don't really need the money, I don't want to do this, I'd rather be done for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I don't want any chance of being infected, I'm staying in my house.
Well, all the assignments that they've been given, they stay in their house, and it's all done over the internet. So the aides that are contacting students are calling them. We also are using Google Meet, which is like an online platform where you can have meetings, and so we're using programs like that. So they're not required to have contact. We're following all the protocols in that regard.
Any risk of exposure, we're asking employers, any suspicion of risk of exposure, stay away from school and contact me directly, and I'll develop a plan for them.
Mr. Hutchins? do you
Yeah,
have-
we're doing some of the same kind of things here at the elementary school. We have a few more that are doing paper-based stuff. I go and help pass out the lunches on Monday mornings, and I pass out that stuff to the parents that want it. We have aides that are working with their supervising teacher to determine what they're going to be doing as far as their PD and stuff. Mrs. Strong's working with the special education aides. And they're reaching out to students. I have Mrs. Fisher, who's working as a second grade aide, who's reaching out and working with kids individually via conferencing, the internet and stuff. And so some of the same kind of things is going on at the elementary school. Just is not quite as much online stuff. I have probably about 70 of those packets I pass out on Mondays, and then I work to get to the parents if they're unable to show up during that time. We have very few that, like, maybe one kid that's not got their packets.
Thank you.
I did have a couple follow-up points, and maybe I'll defer to Mr. Miller on this one. Graduation, we're looking at alternatives at this time, and we're open to suggestions from the board as well. But he's taking it to staff to ask them if they have ideas, and students, student council, all these organizations, to see if they have some ideas and things like that. And we'd love to hear from you guys too. Mr. Miller, any more on graduation at this point?
Sure, I can talk about some ideas that have come up. Nothing's been narrowed down. I've just been collecting ideas and trying to put things together. We've had, one idea was to have a parade and just have the kids driving their cars down Main Street, and so everybody can watch from their houses and they don't have to, be in close quarters. Had people talk about doing it at the football field outside and making sure we're spread out, or just doing a few kids at a time. I actually found an interesting resource. I've been trying to figure out more details. They're supposed to contact me soon, which is a virtual online graduation, which sounds terrible, but it's got some cool options where the speakers can speak, and they actually can all be there on the screen, and everybody can watch it from their own homes. So if we did any graduation, say at the football field, we'd have to limit it to really small groups, and extended family couldn't be there. So the virtual graduation is a possibility of letting everybody be a part of it. So
That's a good idea.
I was going to mention that we're serving a little over 220 breakfasts and lunches every day, just so you get to know.
What are you guys looking at grade? Well, I mean, we were 3/4 of the way through the school year, and it's not just seniors we have to worry about as far as advancing
yeah, we're still.
to the next grade. And I mean, I know we're gonna have kids that are not gonna do very well. I mean, let's face it, if people wanted to home teach their kids, they'd be homeschooling their kids. So it could be rough. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be. I may be surprised and everybody gets A's from home. I don't know. But that's what I'm asking. I mean, what do we got? What are we thinking about that?
Working with the teachers, we are grading, but there's a significantly less amount of work that we're giving out compared to what's normally given out. We're trying to reduce that time spent. The teachers are just getting me lists of students who have not done any of the work, and I've been working on that, actually calling them. I've called a bunch today, and just seeing what the difficulties are. And we have paper packets for those who don't have internet, and we're trying to line those out. So the goal is not to make it a miserable experience, honestly. And we had a big meeting with the staff right when it barely started, and we talked about how we wanted it to look, and it's more, simple learning, no late work, and just really working with the kids to make sure they can get the stuff done. I'm not worried about kids not passing.
Same kind of elementary level. I'm sure we'll probably have some students that won't do much. That's just the reality of the situation. But luckily for us, those that we were thinking about needing to be in that same grade again the next year, we'd already talked to those parents about that. We'll continue to talk to them. If kids don't do what we're asking them to do, then we'll have to, like Mr. Miller's doing, I'll have to start talking to those parents. We just barely started requiring the packets to come back done this week. So that was a change in what we were doing. So we'll see. I've already got kids that are turning them in. I've already got kids turning them in when we said they didn't have to turn them in. So we'll have to look at that and see. There will be some that I'm sure that won't turn them in, but at the same time we'll be looking at a cumulative look of their work of what they were doing through the whole school year, not just these last 7 weeks where, some parents are stressed out, and I tell them when I give them the packet, just do what you can. Just do
My
it.
wife's one of them that's stressed out.
Just do what you can, bring it back, we'll be okay. We understand.
I've told
I
my
understand.
I've told my teachers over and over, just be patient, relaxed, work with them, and we're trying to make it a good experience. It's not going to be miserable. So I think the goal is just to continue the learning and not overwhelm. I know that it's happening. I've had 3 or 4 call me that were pretty overwhelmed. By the time we were done, they're like, oh, this shouldn't be that bad. And I don't think it'll be that bad. I really don't.
Seniors still have to pass their classes to be on track to graduate, and there is a civics test that they have to pass. Most of these students pass it in 8th or 9th grade, and you have a plan in place for the.
Yeah,
couple that's
we have 2 that have not passed yet, but Mr. Bushman's working with them to get that taken care of. It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, I think the nicer it is for them to a point, the more likely they are to succeed in it. But if it's overwhelming from the beginning, it might just be a throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, well.
Well, and every class is going to be different, you know, in every grade level, depending on the work. But I've been going off my kids, and the time they've spent on it is, I mean, maybe 6 hours that they've spent on it a week, which is, you know, a lot less than the 30 that they were spending before. So I don't see it being a problem. The only stress I can see is a kid that's not motivated, where a teacher usually is there to motivate. Now a parent has to do that a little bit more than normal. That would be the only stress I can see.
Thank you. We'll move on to action items. 3A. We don't have any consent agenda items tonight. I motion that we approve the employee health insurance benefit plan for year 2020 to 2021. Steve, are you presenting that?
We need to.
Oh, yeah, we need to. Okay, hold on a second. Okay.
He's on a 2-second delay. If you'd like him to take you through it, we can, or I can take you through it, or you just have any questions, we can jump in it that way.
I've read through it. I'm good. If there's comments from the principals.
Have you guys had a chance to review it?
Yes, sir, I looked at it.
Is this what we were looking at from the teachers and stuff?
So I looked at it on that packet. It's the paycheck, how much you pay per paycheck. But most people look at it by the month. At least I do. And so I added it up. Right now, currently, that middle plan is $700 a month, roughly, and it reduces it to $600, I think. So there is a reduction.
So, but did we lose any coverage with that reduction?
I haven't seen what's entailed in the plan, so I'm not the one to ask. It does, just judging by the numbers, it looks like there's a little bit of loss, and judging by the names of the plan, it looks like there's a loss in coverage, but I don't know.
Steve, could you answer that? We can't hear you.
Steve, you're on mute. Hey, but also I would
Okay,
encourage you to.
sorry, yeah. The main 1,550 a year went to 1,500. The $2,700 a year deductible went to 3,000, and that's just something that's we didn't really have a choice or an option for. But what we did to compensate for that is we increased the amount that the district contributes to the HSA plan to match that. So the contribution of the district went from 1,350 to 1,500 and so forth. So that it costs the district, but the employees aren't really out anything on that. So kind of the high points of it, or the key points, shouldn't say high points. Overall, the increase is about 9.8%. We were looking at 15%. We went back and renegotiated it down to 9.8%. Kind of the average we're hearing across the board for most school districts is a 10% increase. So, you know, we're right there with everybody else, I guess. And the other thing that's real key that's different for us, of course, is that we're contributing now towards the family plan. And this is something we've had a lot of feedback from employees over the years, and we just haven't been able to afford that until this coming year with the 15% override is kind of the first time we've ever had money available to do that. And so what we tried to do is I know those premiums are still high for people, but we tried to balance a meaningful increase for the employees. Well, I shouldn't say a meaningful supplement to help out the employees. Big enough to mean something, but not so big that it turned into something we can't afford or sustain from year to year. So kind of excited about being able to do that for employees. So the overall cost of all of these proposals is looking to be about 46,000. Well, the estimate is $46,864 per year, and that's I've kind of broken that down into how much is attributable to the rate increase and how much is attributable to that family supplement. And so anyway, any questions?
It could be a little bit higher because there's some unknowns, like who's gonna sign up for what plan.
And that's I realize it's an estimate, but that's the total amount
of
that
the
we'll be
increase,
paying,
yes,
correct?
over what we paid this year.
Okay.
The total amount of the increase, yes.
Okay, so that's over what we've been paying.
Right.
Correct.
Is there any other questions? Any comments?
Do we need to
Yes, yeah, it needs to
approve
be
it, or
approved,
what?
and everything that
yeah,
you're
we
approving
need
is
to.
listed on this backup sheet. So you're approving those changes to the medical plan. The dental plan is not funded by the district. It's funded 100% by the employee, but you're approving that we continue to offer that plan. That's going to be a 4.98% increase. The vision plan, same as the dental, the employee pays 100% of that. That's a 5% increase over this year. And then we also offer, alongside all this, a basic life insurance and accidental death and dismemberment policy, and the district actually funds that, and that's an 8.53% increase. And then we also offer short-term disability plan for employees that they can opt into, alongside some other tax sheltered annuities and savings plans. So that whole package is what you would be approving then for the fiscal year 2021.
I move that we approve as presented.
I'll
All
second.
we have to do is vote on it now.
Mm,
Because Eldon
Okay.
seconded it,
okay,
and I said that we approve it.
Yeah.
okay.
So, Eldon,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
myself, yes. Dayton,
Yes.
Rhonda,
Yes,
okay. Item B, approval resolution authorizing superintendent to establish procedures to public health and ensure payment of salaries and benefits to employees during school closure emergency pursuant to Arizona legislative action. I motion that we approve that.
I'll second it.
Do we need any discussion? Dayton,
Yes.
Rhonda,
Yes,
myself, yes. Jeremy,
Yes.
Eldon?
Yes.
Okay. And then item C, I motion that we approve establishment of a clearing bank account for the district general funds.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we need any discussion on this?
The county's just not taking cash anymore, so that's one of the main reasons.
so we're setting up an account to deposit cash
That's
to
correct.
be able to write them a check.
Right.
That's correct. And we also
Jeremy?
this is something we have been looking to do actually for quite a while for different reasons. But we will also use that account, just so so you're really clear on it. That account will also be used to collect fees and things that people pay online. We hope to start doing more of that and making that an option for people, and also encouraging people to pay for fees and things online, because it improves our cash control security. The less cash we handle, the less opportunity there is for fraud or mismanagement. So that account would also be used to collect those fees in, and then they would from there be deposited to or transferred to whichever bank account they need to go to, depending on what the purpose of those funds are. They'll be
Which will be
controlled
by you?
By me, but only in the sense that I review all the bank reconciliations. We have a division of duties so that different people, a different person in our office writes the checks, a different person from her reconciles the bank account, then a different person, which is me, reviews that bank account and signs off on it, that bank reconciliation, and then every check has to have 2 signers. And the authorized signers in our district are the 2 principals and Mr. Fields and myself.
Would that be, you said so people can pay online,
I
is
mean,
that like Zelle?
kinda, yeah. You have to have, when somebody pays something using their credit card, you have to have, some banking arrangements in the background set up so that whatever banking organization is collecting your money for you or running those transactions for you through the credit card system, they know where to deposit those and where they need to land. And right now we don't have very many, and so we've been kind of we've been using a different account right now, but as we expand that, in order to stay legally compliant with what you can and can't use various bank accounts for, we need to set up one that's specifically for this purpose. So that's what we're doing. But what's prompting it to be done right now a little more urgently is because of this situation with the county no longer accepting cash. So that's the situation. That's the situation.
Thank you. Jeremy?
Yes.
Eldon?
Yes.
Rhonda?
Yes.
Dayton?
Yes.
Myself, yes. I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Okay,
After the second, go ahead.
it's seconded.
Okay, I just wanted, we have a meeting next week,
Yes,
and,
Tuesday at 6.
yeah, and we can talk about how we're gonna, do that, if we wanna make it more virtual or continue in this kind of form, so. We don't have to do it now, you guys, we can write a letter.
I think unless we have people come up with good reasons not to, this worked out real
Yeah.
well.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Is there any other discussion we need to about that? Okay. Rhonda?
Yes.
Dayton?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Jeremy?
Yes.
Eldon? Time being 5:29.